Deshaun Watson has been in Cleveland now for 2 years. Although the first year he could play only 6 games, and this year he was injured, I think there'd have to be a shorter leash this upcoming season. Watson is being paid a boatload of money, and I think the Browns would want to expect more out of him. I'm rooting for Watson to turn it around, although, and go back to his peak game again because he was electric to watch back in Houston. He's had less than 3,000 total offensive yards in his first 12 games in Cleveland and 16 touchdowns compared to 9 interceptions. He has also taken 37 sacks, which seems about average, maybe a little high. But those are his only 12 games played in the past 4 years. I feel like a lot of people forget the fact that he did have that year off of football. And then he did have another one where he was suspended half the season. So he has not played a lot of football in the past couple years. I mean, 12 games in 3.5, almost 4 years is kind of outrageous. Which it's not. It's a little bit his fault. I'm not getting into that side of things, but it's not like it's all his fault. In his second season, he did face injury, and he was starting to heat up a little bit before then. But we'll get into a little more of that later. He has looked a bit sluggish overall, but I think that does play into the fact on how little football he has played. And I'd really say that that's what that part of his game boils down to. But he has had many ugly plays, and sometimes he has looked a little bit like a rookie. Just with he seems a little confused, seems like he's maybe trying to do a little much. I think that I really expect him next year to get back to peak Deshaun Watson because I think he might finally be settled back in to the NFL game, because he has not played a lot of NFL ball in the past 4 years. So I think that's something that people should take into account. And he has showed positives and flashes as well. And it's not like he's been all bad, right? Obviously, he has enough for this 8-minute highlight reel that you guys are watching half of. But he has looked good even with the struggles. But that's where I say that sometimes it kind of feels like he's out there playing like a rookie. And just, I think that I don't want to repeat myself again, but just with how little football he's played, I think that he just needs to settle back in next season, and I think that that should help him a lot. But I don't think the Browns should be eager to move on. I feel like a lot of people think the Browns are a lot of people are calling it the worst trade ever. Right now it looks bad, but I think in about 2 years it'll actually look a lot better. But the Browns should not be eager to move on yet because his peak play is an MVP season. The main reason he didn't win it back in 2020 was because the Texans were 4-13 and were absolutely terrible. And I just think that the Browns should be a little patient. Obviously, I said he's on a short leash, but I think you have to have patience on that short leash. I don't know if I'm quite explaining myself right, but I just think that they need to be a little patient while still keeping him in check almost. And I think that's going to be interesting to see him under the helm for hopefully a full season this upcoming year. Um, you never know, injury could strike again, but hopefully not. And overall, I think the Watson trade has looked bad so far, but I think that this is the year that he will finally put it together in Cleveland. I think the Browns should be patient this year, but not too patient. Like I've been saying, having a short leash, but keeping a little bit of patience. And when he faces his shortcomings this season, I think that they should, keep him in check. I've said that. Don't want to repeat myself. But I think he still has it in him to elevate his game back to his full level that he was in Houston. And he has only played 12 games of football in the last almost 4 years. So I just think that he can elevate again if he does everything right. I mean, yeah, that's obvious, but I think that he knows how to do the stuff right. He just needs to do it right, and he'll be right back to his top tier playing. And if he can't do that, it looks like the Browns do have a capable enough backup to be able to step in for him, which I don't see Watson getting benched this year. I see Winston playing during injury. And I think this is a great opportunity for Winston too, and I think that this was probably the right team for him to go to with Watson's injury history. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys maybe leave suggestions down below on what else I should do. I've just been trying to find some random stuff to talk about, and I figured I haven't discussed the Browns yet. So here's a Deshaun Watson video for Browns fans. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a good day.